Next, Bidyasing Engleng Dangoria. Homoy 5 minutes apnar.
Chairman Dangoria, Aji Hosakoi, bor anondito. Kyo, this is the first time je Nijor Assembly Sai Jagapura, Ohmor Beleg. Jai Dog, Chairman Dangoria, Amar Chief Minister, Dudor Hitar Follow, Aru Amar Speaker, Duro Hitar Follow, Aji BTD, tribal area, first outside Maliki Dhanova Dibolagi. Aru, Beko Amar 6 schedule Kotha, 6 schedule do. Hills to have Manaki 6 schedule to hills area to have Ohomor hills area to have 6 schedule Korahose, Potomote. Itabaru Bitedi who say, Kinto, Pasot, Kyo Andres Ho Karbiang Long Aru and Seals people. Kotatu who say, that then Chief Minister and that then government. Hey Homoyot, Kose, Tote Najabi, Meghalo, Amalogote Takibina. Boxes dim. Ki boxes dibo? Ki reward dibo? Hey, to say Article 244A, state within the state, hey, Jetia Prodoto Kurisa, I not Hongbidano. Tare Pusar, it's a 3 proposal, DI 9. Ama Nati Hokole, which Amane Gompua goise, Ama Rora Hokole Gompua, who goise, Amio Gompua goise, Kyobiana. It's a heck and Majamaja demand color to keep Beausenigi. No hole Hyoto Kobaje, Equena, Blicodivo. Heck and Monopelidisu, G Article 244A, say, hey to Hunkali Didio. Instead within the state. Oh, Karo Nije, I Nije have what is it? Aji Chief Minister, Aji government, head teacher government is to what is it? Hey to Kodibola, you would. Oh. Kothadi Kothanare, the Hekomado would go to Sorosondo Sinha, Sorosondo Sinha, more Kare, Jarkaron have no call, that minister, government. That Kyomanaki, Ama to Horman Journal. Ama Tekala be like Kyomanaki to count here. Hey, can development is a Hosakwe. Ama Chief Minister Sari. J 6 Hamporke, Karkar Mono Dukase, Cock. সেইকাৰণে আজি বহলভাৱে সবকো মানে কে হুনাকৈ জানাকৈ চিফ মিনিষ্টাৰ সাৰেটো নন 6 শিডিউল সকলক বুজাব নোৱাৰে যে আপোনালোকে বুজক বুলি এছেম্বলিতে সবকো কথা ক'বলৈ চান্স দিছে সবলৈ জানিবলৈ দিছে হয়নে নহয় ইভেন আমাৰ অখিলেও কৈছে আৰু আমাৰ কি কয় আমিনুল ইছলামও কৈছে এটো আমাৰ কথা ইট ইজ এ ৰেকৰ্ড কি ভাল হৈছে তাৰমানে চিফ মিনিষ্টাৰে 244 দি দিয়ক বুলি ইনডাইৰেক্টলি সাপোৰ্ট কৰাৰ নিচিনা হৈছে গতিকে আপোনালোকে কথাটো হা এটা একেটা ডিসিশন নিদিয়ে যে কেন স্যাৰ ইয়াত আমাৰ কাৰ্বি আংলঙত বহুতো উঠুনি আপুনি কৈছে যে ৰাস্তা পদূলি হসাকৈ ভাল পাইছে মেডিকেল কলেজ পাইছে
আৰু কি লাগে
ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি দিছে এতিয়া মই আৰু বৰ বেছি নহয় আপুনি আকৌ কামান দি দিব বন্ধ কৰি থৈ দিব এতিয়া কথাটো হৈছে মই অলপ এটো পঢ়ি দিছো এতিয়া কাৰ্বি আংলং এনচিল শান্ত হ'ব কি শান্ত হ'ব এই পঢ়ি শুনাই দিছো মেমোৰেণ্ডাম অফ
প্লিজ
Memorandum of settlement. The government of India and the government of Assam have made persistent efforts in the past to fulfill the legitimate aspiration of the Karbi people, which led to devolution of more autonomy to the Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council and development of the area. Notwithstanding this initiative, organization representing the Karbi people continue the demand for creation of an autonomous state under Article 244A of the Constitution in an effort to find a comprehensive and final solution to the issue. Several rounds of tripartite discussion were recently held with the leaders of Karbi Anglong armed groups as well as elected representatives of Karbi people. The negotiations have led to the signing of the Memorandum of Settlement, which will ensure greater devolution of autonomy to the Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council, protection of identity, language, culture, etc. of Karbi people, rehabilitation of cadre of the armed groups, and focus development of the council area without affecting the territorial and administrative integrity of the Assam. The signatory armed groups have agreed. The signatory groups have agreed to absorb violence, and join the peaceful democratic process as established by law of the land. First, the Committee of the Legislative Assembly of Assam, as envisaged under Article 371B of the Constitution, will be constituted immediately. The government of India may expedite passage of the Constitution 125 Amendment Bill 2019, which proposes to rename the council as Karbi Anglong Autonomous Territorial Council and increase the number of members to not more than 50, of whom 6 members, including at least 2 women reserved, 2 men members will be nominated by the governor, and the rest of the members will be elected of the adolescents. 3, the government of India and the government of Assam will take necessary steps to reserve 34 seats for ST and 10 seats under open category for the community out of 44 elected seats in KSC. The Constitution 125. So when the Constitution 125 Amendment Bill 2019 proposes to transfer the further subject KSC, amending
125 to Parliament amendment of it.
Support দিব লাগে বুলি এটো আমি উত্থাপন কৰিছো নম্বৰ আৰু এটাটো হৈছে the government of Assam shall set up a committee to study the demand for notifying Karbi language as an associate language in the state. The committee will also recommend measures to further. এটো ভালো বল আৰু এটা হৈছে the government of Assam shall set up a Karbi welfare council focus development of Karbi people living outside KAC. আৰু মই lay down কৰিছো এইবিলাক আপুনি পাস কৰি দিয়ক এতিয়া
থ্যাংক ইউ মাননীয় অধ্যক্ষ দৰ্শিং ৰংহাং
সম্মানীয় উপাধ্যক্ষ মহোদয় and the August House. Sir, it is a great honor to speak on a historic occasion like this when, for the first time, the Assam State Assembly is holding its session in a 6th scheduled area. I myself come from the 6th scheduled area of Karbi Anglong, and I am proud to say that the Karbi Anglong have had the experience of the great journey of the 6th Scheduled Council, from the modest beginning with simple tasks of preserving and promoting tribal interests to the present complex nation-building tasks involving all development departments of the state. Sir, we all know that at the dawn of the independence, we all know that at the dawn of our independence, the Constituent Assembly was constituted to draft our present constitution. It had a subcommittee called the Northeast Frontier Assam Tribal and Excluded Areas Subcommittee, headed by the first Chief Minister of Assam, led Gopinath Bordoloi. That is why it was also called Bordoloi Committee. Its members included luminaries from the Northeast like Reverend J.J.M. Nicholas Roy, Khasi, Rupnath Brahmo Bodo, and Eliba Imti Naga, Khorsing Terang and Samson Singh Ingti were also co-opted members of the committee. This committee had come to meet the Kar people at Lamding on the 18th May 1947 to ask them what the Karbi wanted. Our leaders, particularly Samson Singh Ingti, Chatra Singh Teron, and Chandra Singh Teron Langkung Habe, interacted with them and plead for a separate administrative district with a tribal council for the Karbis so that they may self-determine their affairs and that only tribal people should be allowed to contest the council's election. The other demands were: A, tribal land should be protected by law and that it should be inalienable. B, to give importance to education of the tribal people. And C, all customs and traditions of the tribal peoples should be protected by law. That was the beginning of the sixth schedule concept in Karbi Anglong, and the Bordoloi Committee had drafted the sixth schedule with similar provisions for all the hill tribal people. Sixth schedule was designed to be our safety net while being a part of the great nation of India. That this provision will ensure the safety and security of the tribal people as far as their land, forest, language, culture, and traditional are concerned. These are the core subjects over which the six scheduled tribal councils have full power, and the laws passed by the State Assembly and the Parliament on this subject cannot supersede the laws passed by the tribal councils. But sir, during the first 2 decades of the sixth schedule regime, that is the 1950s and 1960s, it was discovered that the tribal people needed a develop a part and in equal pace with the rest of the people of the state and the country. The Sixth Schedule Council could not deliver that because it had limited financial resource and could not be in sync with the 9 departments, which are the organs for development purpose and are controlled by the state government. The leaders of the Plains district, which were at the helms of the government, had their own priority, and the hills tribals peoples felt neglected since six schedules could not resolve development issues without the administrative powers of the state. They failed. Separation was the only solution, and so to ensure self-determination of the hill tribal people on matters of development. Meghalaya and Mizoram were carved out from Assam. In 1969, the Parliament also offered us the option to separate from Assam along with Meghalaya and Mizoram, but that would have made separations of the not only the entire hills area, but also the Barak Valley. The state leadership felt that it was necessary to prevent further disintegrations of the state. So a meeting was held with the hill leaders of the hills leaders on 3rd February 1970 at Haflong, where it was decided that the 6th Scheduled Council would also look after all the development department in
Thank you.
their respective
Please conclude.
areas. And the necessary fund would be provided by the state government. That was the part of the concept of the transfer department in 6 scheduled areas, councils. Sir, the
you can lay down
territorial
if it is
integrity
written.
Assam with the Barak Valley was served on the Garbi, Dimasa, and leaders were the heroes. Sir, the concept of the transferred department in the 6th scheduled council is also not an easy option. This system demands a complex coordination strategy in program implementation, delivery of the service and release of the necessary fund. It required a lot of patience and goodwill on the part of the state leadership, which our Honorable Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma is demonstrating. With other chief ministers, it may not be the same. That is why the hill area have been facing political unrest during the past 30 years. Under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister and after signing of several accords, peace had returned in the hills. So it is now time to plug the lacunae in the working of the 6th schedule so that not scope in is open for further unrest in the hills. Sir, the first issue is to uphold the legislative competence of the 6th scheduled council. In the past, when the hill people lack education, it might have been necessary for the state government to monitor the legislative process of the council. But today, the hill peoples are no less educated than the peoples of the plains areas. The subject reserved in the 6th schedule for the legislative functions of the autonomous council are synchronized, and the state government must respect the legislative competence of the council on those subjects. But the legislative bills continue to be lost in the librarians corridors of the secretariat, unduly delaying the progress of the governor in the legislative process of the council. Important legislative bills are delayed for a year together in the process. I urge the present chief ministers to resolve the issue permanently by allowing the governor to exercise his discretion without having to consult with the government. It will require the amendment of the para 20BA of the 6th schedule of the Constitution, which we have been pursuing.
Thank you. You can
Sir,
lay down.
sir,
This-
little-
it is written.
little,
If
sir.
it is written, then you can lay down. We'll include
The
your
second
speech, please.
the second important issue is the uncertainty
Please
related with the manners and equitums of the funding. The third important issue is the upholding of the rights of the indigenous peoples in the relation to the land and the economic opportunities. the hills area of facing acute threat of negative demography change against the indigenous people as our border is perennially open. Sir, as in the past, we are still committed to the preservation of the territorial integrity of Assam, which will permanently happen if and when the Sixth Schedule Council is upgraded to Article 244A of the Constitution of India. This measure will ensure solution to the issues presently considered unresolvable under the Sixth Schedule without hampering the territorial integrity of the state, namely the legislative competence of the council without state interference, equitable allocations of funds between the state and the council areas apart with other tribal areas of the northeast, and the preservation of the indigenous rights.
Thank you.
In line with
Honorable
the
member,
Article
you lay down your
25,
speech
27
will include
of the
your
United
inter-speech.
Nations,
Next member,
Declarations of
Honorable
the
Member
Rights of the
Nandita
Indigenous
Garusa.
People, which was
Please conclude.
adopted on 37th. Thank you, sir.